Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Terrence Williams. If this is your first time here, I am a sewist and a small business owner of my small business Terrence Williams Designs, where I create and sew ethically sourced and sustainably produced clothing and accessories. So if you're into sewing and you're into a little bit of makeup and skincare, make sure you subscribe, like the video, follow along. In today's video, we're going to do a little bit of a sew along of this pattern that I have been obsessed with. It is from McCall's and it is their 8150. This is the pattern. It is a tiered skirt. I just made it the other day. I'm wearing it right now. I'll insert a little video of me wearing it and styling it, but I am obsessed with it. It's really easy to make, and the inspiration was a Gucci skirt that I had seen everyone else recreating. The Gucci skirt was cute, I guess, but I have my thoughts on Gucci and they're not very nice. But I wanted to do my own version of the skirt. I wanted to do it in fabric that was fun and vibrant for spring and summer. So I picked out some fabric from Joann Fabrics that was kind of coordinating, kind of had a theme. So it is white and tan and yellow and green. So we have some monstera leaves, papaya, some stripes in order to make the skirt. But in today's video, I am going to be using this gorgeous Ankara print. Let me grab it really quick. I am going to be using this fabric to make the tiered skirt. I purchased this fabric from African Zesty Couture, our Zesty Couture. So Grace lives right here in Dallas, Texas, and she supplies us with our Ankara fabric. She hand-picks each piece, creates these beautiful collections. It's all from Nigeria, and it's shipped over here to the United States, and she sells us this beautiful, beautiful Ankara fabric. So if you were looking for Ankara fabric right here in the US, make sure you check out Grace of Zesty Couture. I will link her business in the description below. I've made quite a few videos of unboxing and showing off the fabric haul. The fabric that I've gotten from her. So I'll link those videos so you can go back and see some of the stuff that I've gotten. But let me stop rambling and let's get into the video of making this McCall's 8150 tiered skirt with this gorgeous Ankara fabric. So because I made this pattern before, I already have my pattern pieces cut out. What's really nice about this pattern is that you will use all or almost all of the same pieces to make the skirt because it's a tiered skirt. So it just uses literally basically all of the same pieces for each skirt. But A has a little ruffle, and then B and C are just different lengths along with A. So you're repeating a lot of the same pieces, which is why I have said this is a really easy pattern for beginners. There are not that many pieces. There are not that many steps. Because I already did view C, you saw in the video, I want to do something a little different today. So I'm going to do view A. But I'm going to change it. I'm going to lengthen the bottom flounce just a few inches. And what I'm going to do is, instead of making it a skirt, I'm going to make it a dress. So it's going to be a two-tiered strapless dress that's up around my bust. And by lengthening it a little bit, my bits aren't going to be hanging out. So I'll have a little more coverage, but I'm going to try to make it a two-tier flowy dress with the ruffle. I'm still going to use the same fabric, but I just thought I would mix it up a little bit. So I have my fabric laid out with the right sides together. I am doing piece number 2. It is the upper flounce. So you are supposed to cut it on the fold. So center fold, center front, center back. You cut it on the fold. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to cut 2 of these pieces. So with 2 pieces of number 2 cut, what I like to do is set them to the side, but I like to clip or pin them so I know what pieces are which. So I'll just take my clips. These ones are from Wall Walk, and I'll just clip the pieces together. And set them to the side. Next are pieces number 4. This is for the flounce. So again, we're going to cut on the fold. There are also notches and markings on the side. I didn't find them to be extremely necessary for this pattern, but if you are the type of person that likes to mark and notch everything, I definitely would. But it seemed pretty simple enough that I didn't need to use them, and the skirt came out fine even without me doing the notches little here and the markings here. So I'm just going to cut 2 of these pieces off. I also measured and decided that I wasn't going to add any more measurements to the bottom hem of this flounce because it was long enough and it was going to be okay. And if y'all know me, y'all know I love to show lots of leg. So the shorter, the better. So yeah, that's why I'm not adding any length, because it's going to be long enough as is. And again, with these pieces cut out, I will put them together, clip them, and put them to the side. And then those are done. We have a few more pieces to go. So this is piece number 3, and I have to cut 8 of these on the fold. All 8 pieces are cut out, so I just clipped them, and I'm gonna set these to the side. Now that I have all of the pieces cut out, I am going to serge the sides of pieces 1 and 2 together. So with right sides together, this is the upper, front, and back. I'm just going to, again, put right sides together, pin them again using my Wall Walk clips, and then I'm going to serge down the side. If you don't have a serger, you would just use your sewing machine and do the 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, and then go from there. I'm going to be using a mix of my Bernina L890 serger, and for the other parts using my Brother sewing machine. So again, I'm just going to go in on these 2 parts and serge the sides. The next step is to do a stay stitch on the upper edge of the flounce. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I'm just going to use my sewing machine to do that. For this next step, I am taking 4 of the ruffle pieces and stitching them together, and then leaving the other remaining pieces for another part of the skirt dress that I'm making. So with right sides together and with it marked on the ends, I'm just going to stitch everything together. So now with the ruffle stitched together, I'm going to gather it. And there's actually a stitch on my serger where I can gather the fabric. So I want to try it out for the first time with this fabric. So I have increased the differential feed to 2. That's what the instructions told me to do. And then along the top edge of this ruffle, I am going to gather... Fingers crossed it comes out the way I hope. We'll see. I'm not seeing anything. Y'all see a gather? I don't see a gather. Do I have to do anything? Pull it or something? Hold on, let me look at the instructions. Let's see what this does. Okay, y'all, there's still no gather. Back to the drawing board. Hold on. Okay, y'all. It's a little bit of a struggle, but I think I got the gather stitch to work. It's not very pretty, but I think I'm getting it to work. Okay, y'all, she is ruffled. Remind me next time I want to do something new on my machine to do it on a scrap piece of fabric first. But I think that's the fun thing about sewing, is that you're able to try new things, do new things, and experiment. Usually as sewists, we make our mistakes in private and we don't showcase it. We only show the pretty end effect, or like what we make, or the steps and how everything flows so perfectly. But I think a lot of the times we make mistakes and we are sitting there with the seam ripper and we are cursing the heavens and we're just upset and frustrated. We throw it in a ball in the corner and we walk away until we're able to calm down and come back to it again. So for me, I'm always transparent about everything. This is a learning experience for me, as it is for all of you. So I'm going to show my mistakes and the faults and the things that I don't do right, the things that I do right. I'm going to show everything. Because we're all on this sewing journey together. But the ruffle is done. It is ruffling, and now I'm going to move on to the next step. It's cute. It is cute. Took a little bit to get here, but it's cute. Okay, what's the next step? Also, shout out to YouTube because I found the solution on YouTube. So the next step is to finish the lower hem of the ruffle. So I am going to change the thread because you will be able to see this part. So I am just going to quickly, I don't know why, I feel like it would have, I don't know. I feel like it would have been a little easier to do this before the ruffle, but maybe you wouldn't have been able to ruffle it if this was hemmed first. I don't know. But I'm just gonna finish it. Let me change up my thread. Okay, so I hemmed the ruffle and I have attached it to the flounce on here with my clips. So now I'm just going to go in with my serger and I'm just going to serge all the way around to attach the ruffle to the flounce. So now that the ruffle has been attached, I'm going to take the top part, flip it right side out, slide it inside, and I'm going to sew these two pieces together. So this is going to be the bottom part of the skirt or the dress. And now I'm going to sew all the way around or baste all the way around. And then I'm going to make the top part, and it literally is the same exact thing. So sewing the sides of the two pieces, hemming the edges, doing the ruffle. That's why I said this pattern is pretty easy, because it just is repeating the same steps over and over, except with smaller pieces or bigger pieces as you move up and down the skirt. So let's just fast forward through the second part of this, and then we can do the band and the finishing touches. Okay, y'all, I am back. I had to go on my evening run, and then I had to make myself some dinner. So I stopped like halfway through, did all that stuff, came back, and I just finished the bottom part of the skirt. So this is the flounce with the ruffle. So the ruffle is attached. Everything is looking good so far. So now I'm going to attach the top to the bottom, and then I just have to add the band and the elastic, and then I will be finished. So this is the bottom part of the skirt with the raw edge, and then this is the top part with it turned inside out or right side out. So I'm just going to slide the bottom part inside of the top part, match up, if you did the notches, match up the notches and the markings, or just go by the seams like what I'm gonna do, and then I'm going to sew all the way around and bring them together. I'm just going to use my serger to make that happen. So this is it inside out. With it right side out, I can show you a little preview of what it's going to look like before I add the band. So this will be the top part, this will be the bottom part here, and I still have to add the band at the top of the elastic, but this is what we have thus far. I think it's cute so far. I'm really excited. Okay, let me sew it all together. Also, I should have showed y'all this earlier, but how I got the ruffled hem. I went into the stitch length. This affects the plate and the length of the stitches. So I moved the toggles all the way up to the highest settings. This will lengthen the stitch. And then for my machine, I actually had to go into these toggles, and I had to go all the way up to about 7 on each of them. And then this is how I was able to get the ruffle feature that you see on the hem here. It like ruffled it by itself. And then to reset the settings, you just push the buttons and they go back to their standards of how I had them set up. That's why I love this Bernina. It's so easy and convenient. And then we're back on the stitches that it's supposed to be. Now all that's left to do is the casing, so I'm going to put my strips together and sew each side, but leave a little space on the other side for me to be able to put in my elastic. And then I'm going to attach it to the band, put in my elastic, and then that will be it. So I'm almost finished. This has been quite a unique and interesting experience for me. It's the first time that I've truly recorded going through the steps of everything and doing kind of an in-depth, not tutorial, but really sew along, especially with a pattern that I've never done before. This is my first time doing view A. So it was interesting and fun to kind of show you the process, but show you the mistakes and the things that I'm learning as I'm learning my new Bernina serger and just learning these new patterns. I am self-taught. I've taught myself how to sew. I didn't go to school for it. So I always say when it comes to sewing, it's one of those things that you are constantly learning new things, constantly learning new skills, constantly evolving and getting better. And there are definitely things that I could do to improve and definitely things for me to learn. But I think, again, that's why it's so exciting to sew and to craft, because you're able to talk to other sewists to learn new things. And especially being a part of the sewing community on TikTok or Instagram, more so TikTok. There's just a wealth of knowledge and so many people there who are just so knowledgeable and have so many skills, who love to learn and who are willing to teach. And so I learn a lot from them also. But I wanted to just thank you all for coming along with me on this journey. I promise the sew along videos will get better as I get more comfortable and get more used to my setup and lighting and things like that. But for right now, for this first one, I think it's going really well. I think it's going really well. But let me stop rambling and finish this damn skirt dress. Band is attached, and now I just have to put in the elastic. I don't need too much elastic because it's a pretty perfect fit, which I'm excited about. So then I'll just feed it through. And with the elastic in, this is it. Here is the skirt. I'm gonna wear it as a little dress. But it came out so cute. I'm really happy with the inside stitching. I used my serger for the majority of it, but I think it came out really nice. I think my seams and everything are really nice. Everything just came out nice, I feel. I think one of the things that I have learned through my sewing journey, specifically with sewing with people from TikTok and people who are a little older or people who just have more experience, they sew in a specific way. So it's the 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, it's pressing the seams, it's doing all of that stuff, which I think there is an art to it. I think it probably does make your pieces last longer, and I think there is just a real craft to that. And I have done it on other garments. It's just not my preferred method. And I always say I spent a lot of money on my serger, so I want to use my serger and use it for everything. So I just prefer to use my serger. But again, I think it's just personal preference and it's just what you like to do. This is the way that I like my inside of my garments to look like and my seams to look like, and you might do something different, and I think that is a-okay. That is completely fine. I don't think that there is a right or wrong way. If it's a garment that you are going to be wearing and cherishing and loving, as long as you love it at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And I'm really in love with this, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I say all that to say that some people in the sewing community can be real judgy. I don't care for your judgment. Okay, I did what I did, I sewed what I sewed, I pinned what I pinned, and that's it. I'm happy with it. I really love it. I'm gonna show you how I style it, what I wear it with, how to wear it as a skirt, dress, what I'm going to wear it with in a few seconds, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to check out Grace Zesty Couture for her Ankara fabric. Again, I will leave her linked in the description below. Also, make sure you check out my website, Terrence Williams Designs. That will be linked in the description also. And I will see y'all in the next one.